Only time you should be in his ears when you're yelling soup. Who did that? Who did that? That was awesome. Logan, you set it off right when I said soup. Someone's got to clip that. Do you guys know how to do that? Someone's been doing that. I think MVP's been making me clips. Yo, if you're watching this right now and you want to clip that, please do. That's hilarious. That's got to be on one of those timing countdown for Twitch channels, right? Like, come on, give me on one of those like collection videos where they got all the different Twitch channels. That crazy stuff like that happens. Me saying soup right when the thing went off at the same time. Zook the Nuke's in the house, by the way. Yo, it's Hockey Sensei. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you, man. I always like talking to you on Instagram. But yeah, whoo. Yeah, man, Campbell can definitely see your GCs and your comments. Dude, if you don't realize that it's not about just you, it's about thousands of you. It's about thousands of you who never shut up about any last little negative thing. I don't mean you, Quinlan. I'm sorry. I'm sounding like I'm ragging on you right now. I'm not. But I'm talking about the you that you're talking about. It's not my comments. It's not your comments. It's millions of stuff. Millions, dude. Not just from the media, but fans as well have a voice that their names are being brought up. If they want to be on social media at all, and everybody wants their celebrities to be on social media, if you want them there, you are talking to them. All right? Because then what happens is the algorithms start to pick up who's the loudest. And whoever's the loudest gets the most voice, which only makes them the loudest. So they get a bigger voice. It's a cycle, man. Algorithms are completely unbiased to anything but what people are loudest because they want to get in your ear. So all of us, we all have a voice here. You know what I mean? You guys are having a voice. You think Twitch isn't scanning these words right now to find out what words are being used on their sites all the time? Of course they are. That's part of it. They can track it all, man. They can track it all. So everything you say or do on the internet can be echoed as long as many people do it. You know what I mean? It's bad. It's bad. Like Wendell Clark didn't deal with this. Dougie Gilmore didn't deal with this, guys. This is a whole new level of in your head that us as fans have over these guys. And we have for a while now. You know what I mean? I always talk about how fans are important. You know what I mean? They're a big part of what goes on. So we have to decide how we're going to help our team. Jeez. You're doing good. Thank you, sir. I was hoping all is going well for me. Yes, it is. So obviously we got some analytics guys in the house here tonight, right? So we got that going. Can you guys even hear my music tonight? I feel like I can't even hear it. Jeez. Maybe it's my headphones. Maybe I should make my own headphones. Huh? On one of those sites. Put my own trubeleafer stamp on it. We're going to try and do some merch soon, okay? We'll try and get some merch going. All right? I did say that, so I'll put some designs together and figure out how to go about that. I mean, I don't think it's smart to comment negatively on Leafs posts or anything like that. However, complaining in group chats where it's people talking with friends should not reach Campbell. No, like your exact words, your exact thing won't reach Campbell. You see what I'm saying? No, he's not going to read Quinlan's comments in trubeleafer's chat. That's not how it goes. But if the internet picks up that that's what people are saying the most, then those are the stories that get reported the most. You see what I'm saying? You think that these reporter guys don't have search engine optimization in their departments where they're finding out what kind of stories people want before they've even happened? You think they're not doing that? You know what I mean? They're searching keywords, finding out what we're all interested in. You know what I mean? It's finding out what we're all searching, okay? And then if something looks like it's happening that maybe matches some of those keywords, guess what? That's what the article's called. And then from there, that's the motive. That's the narrative. Okay? It's smart business. I'm not blaming these magazines and websites and stuff at all for doing it. They should do it. But when fans buy into it, when fans aren't smart enough to know what's really going on the ice, and they're letting blabbermouths tell them because, you know what I mean, they're just lazy with it, and that's as far as it's going to go, then when they put public opinions out there, it has an effect. All it's doing is mirroring back its own algorithm. The algorithm loves itself, guys. You got to understand that. Right? The AI running all these things, it loves itself. It thinks it's the coolest thing on earth. So it's going to echo back whatever repeats what it says. the most, okay? And what it says is what we are saying the most. You know what I mean? It's secular. Am I saying that? Secular? I never claimed to be smart with my language, guys. I never claimed it, okay? I know hockey. That's about it. Jeez, I'm just gonna search Miller. Okay, so I don't like the NHL website. I don't like the NHL website. I take it back. This is not very good on my phone. JT Miller, here we go. Oh, Anonymous is just lighting it up, eh? Holy. Now, I must warn you, I think that costs like a penny or something like that. So just be careful, all right? I appreciate the support, right? But, you know what I mean? You know, don't get too crazy. Or do. Jack Campbell, make a save challenge impossible to... What? Greg, what are we saying? Jack Campbell, make a save challenge? Come on, man. He's a good goalie. It was a bad game. There's no doubt. It was a bad game. It was a bad game. But guess what? The city's in his head now. So let's hope he can shake it off better than other goalies have in the past. I can't believe it's happening so quickly. But, you know what I mean? All right, so JT Miller here. Where is he at currently? He's currently a +2. Okay, he's currently a +2 with 29 points. No, 53 points, sorry. Whoops. 53 points. This is nuts. I don't know who you are, but like, please be careful. Please be careful. +2, and Vancouver's where in the standings? Vancouver's where in the standings? Vancouver is... See, I don't know everything off by heart. I have to look it all up all the time. Vancouver's like 19th in the league right now. Okay, so that's not bad. So I might want to see a little bit more in that department, considering he's got 53 points. But let's say you said he's playing... shoots left. I like that. All the league seems to be having trouble with the left side of things. So a center, though, right? Like, do we want another center right now? Who would he replace? You know what I mean? No, plus minus is not the most useless stat in hockey. And if you want to get into that topic, we can get into that topic as well, too. Trust me, this doesn't mean that I think he could have a -29 right now. Let's understand that right now. He could have a -29. And with a bit of context, I can say, oh yeah, okay, I can see why he has a -29. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. It means he's not having a good year. Like, I don't understand what's the hard concept about that. Instead of saying plus minus is a good or a bad player, what it means is either you are having a good season or not. You know what I mean? You're having a good season. You can't have a good season on a last place team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you personally might have some successes, but you're not having an overall successful season if you're dead last. You're not. You can play left wing, maybe? Yeah, that's true. You can play left wing. But then again, who's he replacing there then? To fill that former whatever Richie spot what it's supposed to be? I don't know, man. He's definitely a good player. Like, I've seen this guy play enough. Like, I know this guy's got some skills. You know what I mean? This guy's got some skills. So right away, without even having to look at any of the stats, I'm already thinking about, yeah, I could see that working. Because I watch the highlights and stuff. Like, I see this guy, right? But in terms of, like, knowing the ins and outs of him, at this point, to me, I would need more information. He's not having a bad year. You know what I mean? He's not having... Oh, you know what? Here's another way we can check. Okay, let's get back into that then. So, here, we'll use plus minus again. You want to see this? This is fun. No, skaters. Okay, we're going to sort the skaters of the Vancouver Canucks for just this season. Okay, just this season. These are my search terms, okay? Biggest problem is the overpayment in terms of price to acquire. Now, already when you were talking about the price and everything, without even looking, I'm like, oh, geez, I don't think we want to be taking on any kind of craziness like that right now. You know what I mean? So right away, I was scared by the price just in general. I don't think we're in any position to be making moves like that, okay? So JT Miller's a point leader in Vancouver, which is big, right? Is he a goal? No, definitely not a goal leader, right? No, not even Not even close for the goals. That's fine. That's fine. An assist. So he's leading the team in assists and points. So I'm guessing he's kind of a playmaker, dude, right? Anonymous keeps cheering, man. I know, like, thank you. Like, I want you to know that. I think that's money. Just be careful, please. I think that's money. So just be careful, please. So if I do plus minus from top to bottom, okay? Within the team, we can gauge not only how well the team is doing with plus minus, right? We can gauge how each individual player is doing within that system. So this is what I'm talking about with multiple uses for plus minus. So if I sort the team by plus minus, I see that a good half of their team is in the plus. All right, a good half of their team is in the plus. So right away, I know they're not struggling as a team, right? Because if they were struggling like Arizona or Montreal, they'd have one or two, or sometimes even none. Sometimes no players are in the plus, right? Hello, Alyssa Wipe. How you doing? Seems like a big overpay for that price. Yeah, what's the price on him again, you said? I don't have that. NHL doesn't give me the stats, so then I have to go to Cap Friendly. But since you're right here, why don't I keep looking at the stats? If you could toss up that salary again, what you're paying for him. Thanks, Anonymous. What you're paying for him. There's also cooler things if you want to spend the bits, right? You don't have to just do that one. You know what I mean? If you're going to do that many bits, you might as well throw it on something like Juicy. You know what I mean? You might like it. There's some other alerts and stuff you can set off. Just putting it out there, right? Otherwise, keep it going all night. I'm cool. Trust me, JT Miller is their star. Yeah, he's their star for sure, clearly, or at least one of, right? So in plus minus, JT Miller is like just above the middle of the team. So average team, average plus minus within it, it would definitely depend on the price. You know what I mean? I'll take anybody that's doing that well for points. How do you not take a guy that's got that many points to help your playoff run as long as the price is right? But that's what I'd be looking at then. I'd be looking at that placement, that ratio of like his plus minus compared to the team overall based on where they are in the standings. You know? Like I'd put him at, I'm going to need to see something. This is not an easy trade to make. This better be a sweet deal. Like, I better be helping them out more than they're helping me out with JT Miller is what I would try and pull at least. I don't know how these GMs are going to operate. We don't know how well they get along and everything like that, right? But yeah. So, you want to talk about Austin Matthews there? I'm cool with that too. Check this out. Cool. Toronto Maple Leafs. Leading the Toronto Maple Leafs in plus minus right now. Kerfoot. No surprise there. We all know that. But keep in mind, Morgan Riley was right up there with him before too. And TJ Brody was up there. TJ Brody was up there a lot in the earlier part of the season. Now we have Kerfoot. Right? Hey, there's another one. There we go. No, see, it doesn't mean that he sucks, but watch this, right? So, Mitch Marner's now up there, right, with 12 plus 12. Michael Bunting is a plus 11. Now, here's the scary thing. Justin Hall is a plus 10. Justin Hall is a plus 10. Now, Morgan Riley is a plus 10. So, based on my opinion of Justin Hall, and I've said it numerous times, and you've said it, we've all said it, we're all ragging on this guy as perhaps being the worst Leaf on the team. Okay? I'm agreeing on that opinion before looking at this. So the way I use plus minus is, that is alarming to me. You know what I mean? That is alarming to me, which means I need to find out why that's happening. If I'm a GM, I'm not going to do this. I don't have time, guys. You know what I mean? Justin Hall isn't successful, though. Like, I would agree with the eye test on you on that one. I would agree. Totally. Don't expect me to sit here and be like, oh, well, then he's obviously an awesome player. That's not what I'm saying. But something is up here. Something intangible is happening here. Could be that his partner is bailing him out on a lot of those mistakes that we all see, right? Could be that goalies are bailing him out, right? Or maybe there is a possibility that he's doing a lot of little things right most shifts, and that really there's only like 2 or 3 shifts a game where he makes a completely blunderous mistake. Like, what if a player played flawless every game? Like, and not Hall, but imagine if a player played flawless every game except for 3 shifts. And those 3 shifts were shifts that were so bad, they don't belong in the NHL. Right? Now, I'm using exaggerations here. So, most of the game, flawless. Okay? Flawless at any position. 3 shifts a game, they are going to be OHL level. Like, not even AHL, down to OHL level. Okay? Do you still want that player? It's a tough call. There might be something going on here with Justin Hall that you and I are not seeing. That he's doing something right that we don't know about. All right? Or he could be getting carried. So I'd want to look at all aspects of his play, not just his stats. Don't give me his stats. Right? Don't give me his stats. They don't matter to me. I want to watch him. I want to know what it is. And yeah, hater bias. I mean, that's right, Leslie. So I'm removing. This keeps me humble. This keeps me humble, right? Because the reality is there's outliers both ways. There's going to be outliers that are high and plus minus that shouldn't be, and outliers that are showing us something that doesn't make any sense, and it turns out they actually are more valuable than we really thought. It's going to happen both ways. And any group of stats is going to do that. So, I mean, explain that one to me, right? That's all I'm saying. Explain that one to me. I don't have the answer. I don't get to watch every minute of every game. But I'd like to. That would make me want to look at it. I've never thought if a player wanted to be based on plus minus because it's useless. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I think it is. You could call it luck. You could call it success. You could call it. Like, I'm just trying to find a word. You know what I mean? Like a good day. Like. You ever just like have a good day where everything is going your way, where you feel like you can't do wrong? You know, everything you touch seems to go well for you, right? Well, when it is just luck, it doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? You can't hide behind luck your whole life. It doesn't happen. So even though the essence of plus minus is pretty much luck or success or just things going your way, right? If that's all it is, maybe it can show you something that you never thought to look for. That's why I called it the intangibility rating when you divide it by games played. You see, Anonymous? You see what I'm saying? That's why. I didn't call it the tangible rating. I didn't call it the, hey, this is the everything you can measure stat in the whole world. I literally called it the intangibility rating because you can't quantify it. You can't fully understand it. That's what I'm talking about. But over enough time, Crosby didn't get lucky all those times, right? Gretzky didn't get lucky all those times. Gretzky is a number 4 of all time, plus minus. And he's all offense. He's not defensive. Not really, right? Gretzky's 4th of all time. And Bobby Orr's number 2. Larry Robinson's number 1. Right? Like, look up Larry Robinson. Find out what he did in his time, man. Nobody wanted to play against this guy. Nobody. Because however he managed to get it done, he got it done. You know what I mean? That's what he did to the game. He literally affected every shift of every opponent he played against. Like, listen to the guys talk about Larry Robinson. There's a reason why he's there, right? So, you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Wait, so I missed the part. I rambled. Legit, can you put that point up again if you want to keep talking about it? I apologize, I missed it, and if I scroll now, I'm old. I can't handle this stuff, all right? So if you don't mind just like throwing that situation again, something about plus minus, or sorry, a plus 10 player or something. If you don't mind asking that again, I will do it. I will stare at the screen here until I see it, and I will address it again. I apologize, man. I'm really trying. I could be on the ice for 10 goals, but be the worst player in NHL history. But my plus minus would be plus 10. What happens from there then, right? And that's when I would look at games played, right? If you're gonna look at, if I'm gonna judge a career, right? If you're talking about worst player in NHL history, first of all, there is no worst player of NHL history that's a plus 10. Go look for them. Go look. You're not gonna find any. You know what I mean? You're gonna find a lot of mediocre players, a lot of names you don't know, a lot of names you don't care about. That's what you're gonna find in and around there. You're also gonna find some stars that got overpaid. Like, it's not surprising. You're gonna find all kinds of people. But yeah, I had to look at games played. So like, how many games did it take for them to get that, right? And then what's weird about doing it that way is that, like, it has a dual effect. So if you're talking about the plus minuses of all time, right? Plus minuses of all time, divide them by games played. It gives you a really good idea of kind of who deserved to be up there as well, right? Because it's like they did it in less games, they had more success, right? Because you're not going to find a guy who played 12 games in the NHL anywhere near the top 10 plus minus. You're not going to. They're not there. You see what I'm saying? So right away, you're ruling out all the people that just had a kind of lucky career for like a season or two. They're not going to be on the top, right? Long careers are what end up on top plus minus. Well, Bobby Orr aside, and that might be why he was the greatest player of all time as well. One of. Bobby Orr had an incredible plus minus for playing like less than 1,000 games or something. Like, it's insane. So if you want to know what I would do about a guy who's got plus 10, how many games did he play? Did he play an entire career and is a plus 10? Well, that's pretty good. Did he play 5 games and end up a plus 10? I don't care about that. A plus 2 in each game, he might not have had anything to do with that. You know it, I know it. I'm not lying about that. Never once lied about it. I get it. But you can't quantify something intangible with tangible data. Does that make sense? It's very abstract what I'm talking about here. You know what I mean? I'm asking you all to use something intangible to rate something intangible. Right? Because over enough time, you're going to find that awesome people rise to the top again and again and again. And bad people don't. Not bad, but not as good players don't. They just don't. So, you know what I mean? Coming at me with hard data to measure something I'm telling you is intangible. Like, do you guys not understand you're doing a losing battle right off the start? Like, it's honestly, this is like 80% dead serious and 20% troll job for me. What keeps me in it, like, I really do believe in it. This is not a joke. I really do believe in this now. I didn't when I first started looking into it. I'll be honest. I didn't believe in this. But I started looking into it, and I'm like, you know what? There might be something to this. I see a pattern here. Okay? But it's 80% belief and 20% I love the troll job. Because it makes you guys lose your minds. Oh my God, you're trying to quantify something intangible? Well, here's all this tangible data I have to prove that you're wrong. Like, you know what I mean? How does that make any mathematical sense? Let's quantify something that's intangible with tangible numbers. You know what I mean? What if in science we used a variable measurement? Something that's got a lot of wiggle room as you go along. That just kind of naturally evens out over time. I don't know. Why are you trying to find stats that find the best players? What do you mean? What do you mean, Quinlan? You might be onto something there. I don't want to disregard your question, but it makes no sense to me. But that's honestly, guys, that's usually my fault. I don't read things in black and white very well. I lose context. I lose tone of voice. You know what I mean? Half the time you guys are like just chirping me for fun, and I think like you're ready for war. Like, that's how I get. I don't read this stuff very well. How about trusting what you see, folks? The problem with that, Leslie, and this is where math comes in. Okay? The problem with that is that, what, any guy with a microphone and a room full of lights gets to just say whatever he wants? You know what I mean? What if what I see is completely different than what the rest of the world sees? Am I a genius because I see it when no one else does? Or am I a moron that's literally just imagining anything there? You see what I'm saying? I get it. I get why this is not believable for a lot of people. And I'm not saying I'm a genius either. I don't know what I am. Right? But there's a reason why, if you can settle it with math, something more tangible, it removes a lot of debate. Especially when it comes to contracts. That's really what it comes down to, right? You should know, say, Larry Robinson is elite from stats other than plus minus. Yeah, but what if I didn't? Huh? What if I didn't? Better yet. Yeah, or Gretzky. No, you don't know that. Okay, so right there. So Quinlan, right there. Gretzky, because of how many points he has, should obviously have a really good plus minus, right? So you're telling me there's no one at the bottom of historic plus minus that's a good goal scorer? Like, are you telling me that there's not guys that have a ton of points near the bottom of plus minus? Right? Think about that, Quinlan, for a second. Are you telling me that there's nobody down there that has a ton of points? Because if you are, then I'm right. Right? And if there is, you may have a shot at disproving me. But then I would argue that they lacked something in their game which caused them to give up a lot of goals against. It might not have been defense. It might have been too risky offense. You know what I mean? You can create turnovers with needless offensive risks. Days, how you doing, man? How you doing? Who's Greg? Greg! What? Anonymous, thanks for all that. I see it's kind of come to a halt there. If you're still kicking around, oh boy, I'm gonna have to find out who you are eventually and give you a big thank you as well. But I'm not gonna stalk you like that. That's weird. But for all those cheers that Anonymous put out here tonight, oh my goodness, I don't know what it totaled, but it just went and went and went and went. I really appreciate that. All right, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Ah, you did it again. That wasn't my intention. That wasn't my intention. I just didn't want you to think it didn't go unnoticed, all right? Because, yeah, it starts to fade to the background as we... oh, okay, you're going... I'm cutting you off. We're going to get out of here, all right? So if you're just joining in now, all right, make sure you follow along for these things, okay? Because they're a lot of fun afterwards, right? And, Quinlan, you're saying, no, I'm not saying that... I'm saying that. I'm saying that you should be able to know how good a Gretzky is well before looking at his plus-minus. So then are you telling me... that there's no one near the top plus minus in history that isn't an elite player? Like, are you telling me that you've looked at the list and you would say that there's people there that are not an elite player? Days? Huh? Thanks for following along. Thanks for listening. It's kind of like a radio show, TV show, whatever else, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there we go. Anonymous is cranking into it again. Oh my goodness. But yeah, how good is Gretzky? So yeah, players with high player plus minus can be effective, yes. No, but what I'm saying, Zook the Nuke, okay? You know what I mean? Is there no one near the top of the list of plus minus that you think is not an elite player? History. You want to go over it? Like, you guys want to see what it is? Real quick before we go. Okay? Skaters. Just all of them. All franchises of all time. Okay? I'm on NHLstats.com. This is what I'm using. What, Bobby Orr wasn't good? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand what you're saying, Days. I don't want to misquote you here, so you know what I mean? I don't want to, like, debate something you're not even trying to say. You're saying Bobby Orr is not an elite player? And he's at the top of plus minus? Or near the top?
Big Pappy is
in
the house!
Yeah, he was... Oh, thanks for subscribing, Zook. Thanks for that. You joined the big league now, son. Yeah, I don't mean to be demeaning with that. I like saying that. When people call me that, I feel good. So I hope I didn't insult you there. But yeah, thanks for coming along for the ride. You should have a nice little maple leaf beside your name now when you're in the chat. And that's how that works. That's how that works, you know? So look. Larry Robinson, Bobby Orr, Ray Bourque, Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Clark. That's the top five. Top five plus minus of all time NHL history since they started counting plus minus, right? Right, so So they definitely are okay. You know what? You know what? I will give you that. I did say elite. All right? You're right. I probably shouldn't have tossed the word or elite around. Yes, there are going to be people that are not elite at the top of the list or near the top of the list. I will back you on that. You are right. They definitely are very good, but some who weren't necessarily elite. Totally right. And we talked about, I believe, Quinlan, didn't we talk about, you know what I mean, this before between you and me? A specific player that to a lot of people does not seem like he should be worth very much, right? We talked about specifically coming in at number 6, a plus 462. Oh yeah, by the way, Larry Robinson's a plus 722, right? So that's the number 1. Bobby Orr, 582. You know what I mean? 582 in only 657 games. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now I know why the older generation said that he was the best that ever played the game. I never saw him play, so for me, it's always going to be Wayne. It's always going to be the great one, Mr. Gretzky. But I can see why the older generation thinks Bobby Orr was the greatest to ever lace him up, man. 657 games, guy gets a plus 582, right? Like, you kidding me? So Serge Savard coming in at number 6, a plus 462. I'd never heard of Serge Savard. Do you understand? I'd never heard of this guy. And I'm like, uh-oh, this might be one of those outliers I'm worried about. So I look into him and I find out what the league said about him, right? While he was playing. What is his like aura? You know what I mean? What is his energy? What is his vibe? What do people remember about him? All I'm gonna say is look it up. Serge Savard. You want to talk about the things I'm talking about, the intangibles that go into winning hockey games, the things they don't measure? There it is, man. I dare you. Go check out Serge Savard. And yeah, you could say, yeah, I would think with numbers like that, he probably was elite. I wasn't around for the guy. I won't say that. But I didn't know him. That's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, maybe Days. Maybe. Is he elite? Would you say he's elite, Days? I never saw the man play. Or if I did, I was too young to remember. Serge Savard. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is I saw a name like that and I'm like, oh, really? Who's that guy? And I was worried that like maybe this thing was lying to me. Maybe I was wrong. And then I look into who he is and I'm like, oh, geez. Oh, geez. He sounds ferocious. So, yeah, he was successful. How many cups did he get? A couple cups? At least one. I think he got one. Guys, what can I say? You know what I mean? What do you make of elite players with a bad plus minus? Elite players, what are we talking about? You see what I'm saying? That's the question. That's a great question, Zook, and I want to answer this before we go, okay? Because I gotta get going, man. I've been at this for too long. What do you make of an elite player with a bad plus minus? I make that we need to redefine what the word elite means. Because to me, elite just means offensive. That's it. That's all anybody cares about. That's all anybody tracks, even with defensemen. It's the most important tracking, is what I should say. Yeah, they track defensive stats. But if you're putting up big numbers, offensively, goals, points, assists, all that stuff, you get paid $12 million. And anyone who doesn't do that stuff gets paid less. How little you get paid is determined by how much you contribute on offense. Why are all the highest contracts the most offensive people in those given positions? We understand defensemen can't score as many as wingers, unless you're Bobby Orr. But, you know what I mean? We all understand that in today's game. But the defensemen that make the most money are the ones who score the most points, assists, and goals, right? So the argument needs to define elite. And that's the problem I'm having. As a hockey watching culture, Patrick Kane is a minus 17. Yeah. He's played on some bad Chicago teams. Why wasn't he able to help bring them out of a funk? Now, I'm not saying he's the only one to blame. But anyone who came through the system during Patty Kane's career here has faced a dark period within the Chicago Blackhawks. Now you find out that there's nonsense going on behind the scenes and stuff. Now I'm not saying that the players had anything to do with it or anything, but there's a negative aura of stuff going on around there. There's some intangibles that at some point everybody had a little bit of responsibility for. So they took their minuses. Right? I would argue that Patty Kane has the best hands in the league. He's one of the most elite goal-scoring type players of all time. You know what I mean? He's a forward you would absolutely want to have. But come on, man. Come on. Like, There's got to be something that went wrong there a little bit. And I don't know what it is because I don't have time to follow each and every player. But I guarantee you, if I look through it, if I look through those dark years, I'm going to find some stuff. That's what this is all about. That's what the intangibles are all about. It spots the problem before you do. And if you find out that he was being brought down by everyone else around him, then that problem is you. Do you understand? If you're a GM and you're looking at a career plus minus while a guy's been with you, and you see he's a phenomenal player, and he keeps getting all this minus, like so much of it, the problem is with you. You're not helping him be successful then. If you can't find any reason as to why he's responsible for it, stop pairing him up with people that aren't getting the job done. Right? Get some more people in there who aren't taking so many minuses. Okay?